The Democrats that were very upset that the government was shut down are the same Democrats now that are very upset the government is reopening. And of course, this is all because the Republicans did not cave in to their unreasonable demands. And this is also going to see being called out today in the House of Representatives, with Representative Nick Langworthy completely owning the blue-haired crazy Representative Rosa DeLauro. But before we begin, don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe on this video so we can break the algorithms. Here we go.
And quite honestly, fed up. It is a lie, it is misinformation that we had to reopen the government in order for there to be SNAP benefits to go to families. $6 billion in a contingency fund, which we voted for. Read the bill, understand what you did in the bill, and know what you did. You passed it, and it was the president who decided he did not want to spend that money to feed people. He's taken it all the way to the Supreme Court to deprive people and kids. It's 16 million kids. It's 8 million seniors. It's 4 million people who are disabled and 1.2 million veterans. You want to care for your veterans? Care for your veterans? Make sure that that money in that contingency fund is outflowing tonight and going, and not let them claw back, telling states, get the money back that you have given out. What is wrong with this picture?
You acknowledge people are suffering and doing without, but then you say you won't vote to make that pain go away. How? If you want to present yourself as an intellectually honest individual, how can you try to have it both ways on this argument? The American people have suffered long enough. You've called it a Republican shutdown. Now you're furious that the shutdown is ending. It's not leadership. It's hypocrisy at its very worst. You're trying to say this is a health care bill about a policy that Chairman Cole has articulated about 19 times tonight is not involved in the funding levels of this government. There is plenty of time for a robust discussion to work together through the natural process where it belongs. Our VA employees have gone without pay. Our border agents, our Coast Guard, they've missed paychecks while still serving this country. Families depending on SNAP and WIC have been left wondering when they'd get food on the table. Air traffic controllers, by God's grace, we had no air disasters during this. A system that is already overstretched, that we are trying to modernize and fix and recruit more of. They've worked without a paycheck, and the American people have fortunately been kept safe. These are the real-world costs of the political games. Real people, not anyone in public office, paid the price. Now, after weeks of pain and posturing, the Senate has finally discovered a breakthrough. But let's be honest, this is the same bipartisan agreement they could have passed 40 days ago, 30 days ago, 20 days ago. This deal could have been on the table any time they were ready to come to that table. But the only thing that changed was political timing. The only thing that changed. And that timing should not be lost on anyone. Anyone watching, any members of the media, as to how all of a sudden we get to this epiphany that now is the time. Because Election Day was a week ago. And some of their colleagues have said the quiet part out loud on TV. And they've said, we couldn't back down before our base turned out in blue states like Virginia, New Jersey, and in New York. And you're watching all of their colleagues get barbecued by that angry mob. But let's also be clear, this was never about health care. This was about another talking point and another distraction. And we can and we will have that full and honest debate about health care during the final appropriations process and throughout the budget year. But this shutdown was about one thing. It was about power. It was about Chuck Schumer and Democratic leaders trying to hold a government hostage for their own ambitions, to satisfy their angry mob that wants them to come back with a pound of flesh from President Trump. If Democrats want to let their angry fringe burn their party down, that's their choice. But we are not going to let them hurt the American people any longer in this process. We are not going to let them hold anyone hostage in the name of political chaos. And I want to thank senators on both sides of the aisle to coming to their senses and working together. And I specifically want to mention Senator Fetterman, who has said from the very beginning that you can support the health care policy efforts that many in this room are talking about tonight. But you could also do what's right and fund the government and take care of the people, which we swore an oath to do.
So that, of course, is the main point, all right? Why do the Democrats keep everything shut down for so long? What's the difference between 40 days ago and now? And of course, that difference is the elections are over, right? The off-year elections in New Jersey, New York, and Virginia, okay? The Democrats won those, and I guess congratulations on some level, okay? But it was all political posturing to upset their base, rally that base, and get them out to vote, okay? Because over here you have Rosa DeLauro, and what she's saying, oh, the government could have funded those SNAP benefits. Yeah, we could have used that contingency money for that purpose, but guess what? What about the military? All right, Donald Trump had to go out and get private funds available to pay the military. And what about the VA hospitals? What about the TSA workers? What about the air traffic controllers? All right, how are we going to pay all of them? But the Democrats didn't care about any of that. They just wanted to, of course, have a certain amount of harm so they could rally their base. And that was really what the fight was all about, right? All of this stuff could have been discussed at a later date. Okay, the Democrats could have voted for the exact same thing they ended up voting for 40 days ago. But of course, by voting for it now, the same thing is going to happen that Republicans already said is going to happen. Now we can go ahead and debate healthcare. Now we can go ahead and debate reforming and refunding, etc. Okay, all of that stuff is now on the table. But guess what? No government shutdown to go along with it. Okay, so it's great seeing all of this crazy hypocrisy called out, especially from the left, who are sitting there saying, hey, this is the Republicans' fault. They're the ones who shut down the government, even though the Republicans voted 15 times to open it up, and Democrats voted 15 times to keep it closed. Okay, and now all of a sudden, magically, the Democrats vote to open it, and the government opens, and whose fault really was it? All right, who caused the shutdown? Oh, it should be clear for everyone to see. And that's what I really find is the most delicious part about all of this. It's the simple fact that the Democrat base is now really upset because the Democrats gave up the fight. Okay, they said they were never going to back down. Chuck Schumer's like, no effing way are we giving in to the Republicans, all right? And then here we are with the Democrats caving into Republicans. And I have to wonder, how is this going to affect their already cratering poll numbers, all right? How is this going to affect the midterms? Because what are they going to have to run on at that point in time? Because all this stuff isn't slated to happen again until after those elections. So the Democrats can't stop taking L's because they never really had any leverage to begin with on this entire shutdown fiasco. So thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, and say hi to your mom for me. Do you like t-shirts? Of course you do. And now you can support the channel by buying an Angry Teacher t-shirt designed by me, Angry Teacher. So if you like America, if you like freedom, if you like liberty, then go ahead and click the link in the description where all designs, of course, are 100% mother approved. So enjoy yourself and find something you like today.